Donald Trump's first 100 days in office has been described as one of the most extraordinary, divisive, and consequential in American history. Hello, I'm Alex Armstrong, and this is GBN Originals. What we've witnessed is nothing short of a political earthquake. Trump's opening salvo has been a rapid fire of relentless display of presidential power, the likes of which America has never seen. What's the impact? It's being felt not just in the United States, but all across the globe. From day one, Trump has governed with a singular purpose: to dismantle what he sees as the bloated machinery of federal government. It's not wrong in my opinion. Executive orders have come thick and fast, each one aimed at rolling back regulations, slashing government departments, and reasserting the primacy of the executive branch. His supporters have hailed it as long overdue surgery on a system riddled with inefficiency, while critics warn of chaos and overreach, as they usually do. This is not the slow consensus-driven politics of the past, though, is it? Trump has made it clear he's not interested in playing by the old rules. He's wielding unilateral power with a confidence, some would say bravado, that's both left allies and opponents scrambling to keep up. Perhaps the most striking feature of these first 100 days has been Trump's attempt to tear down vast swathes of that bloated federal state. Programs built up over generations are being targeted for abolition or radical reform. Environmental protections, workplace regulations, welfare programs, foreign aid, they've all felt the axe. And what's Trump's argument? Well, America must be freed from the shackles of bureaucracy to compete in a ruthless global marketplace. While these moves may delight his base, they also set stage for years of possible and possibly generations of legal and political wrangling. Future presidents may find themselves spending entire terms trying to rebuild what's been torn down, if indeed they want to do so. And I suspect some of the Democrats probably would. Yet for all that drama, there's a question that hangs heavy over Trump's frantic start. How much of this will last?
Have you ever seen a headline so biased you couldn't help but laugh? Well, here's how you can cut through the spin and get a clearer picture of what's actually happening out there. We've all seen those news stories. Everything's a catastrophe. Facts are feelings, and even the weather becomes political. If you're tired of wading through sensational headlines and narratives leaning so far left they're practically falling over, consider our partner Ground News. Ground News isn't just another news source, it's a tool that lets you easily spot the spin. Take, for example, the Trump tariffs pause. This story had over 600 articles, 29% on the left, 54% centre, and 17% on the right. Left-leaning coverage, like Bloomberg UK, framed the EU's tariff actions as a measured retaliation to Trump's policies, emphasising the need for predictable trade conditions and using terms like onslaught to describe Trump's approach. Right-leaning outlets, such as the Daily Express, conversely characterised the EU as bottling under pressure and engaging in revenge that the EU merely matched, and highlighting China's high tariffs on US goods. With Ground News, you can quickly spot when a story is disproportionately covered from one side. Their handy bias ratings, which show purported news bias, and blind spot feed, a feed that you can see stories disproportionately covered by one side, make it easy to see what's being exaggerated, underreported, or simply misunderstood. What really convinced us to partner with Ground News is their commitment to transparency and clear information. In a time when algorithms feed us content designed only to hold our attention, not necessarily inform us, Ground News is genuinely refreshing. It's not about being unbiased, it's about clarity and balance. If you want to cut through sensationalism, visit ground.news/GBN or scan this QR code now to subscribe. You'll receive 40% off the Vantage plan, giving you unlimited ad-free access to news coverage worldwide.
Well, many of the president's most sweeping reforms have come not through legislation but by executive fiat. Without the backing of Congress, these changes are inherently fragile. A president could, in the future, with a stroke of a pen, reverse much of what Trump has done. And this durability of the remaking of America is therefore far from assured. It's temporary. Later this year, the Republican Party, still holding only slim majorities in Congress, will attempt to translate Trump's vision into law. But their grip is tenuous. The mid-term elections are looming, and there's a very real possibility that Democrats could seize control, bringing Trump's legislative agenda to a grinding halt. And then there's the judiciary, isn't there? Our favourite bunch of people, all the lawyers, all the judges. Well, Trump's heading to a series of bruisings with them. While the Supreme Court is now firmly conservative, it remains independent. Its rulings on several pivotal cases could be blunt and overturn some of Trump's most ambitious initiatives. So while the first 100 days have been a masterclass in political might, the next 1,361 days will determine whether Trump's legacy is built on sand or on stone. Now let's talk about the public mood. For Trump supporters, these first 100 days have been an utter vindication for him, and for them actually. They see a president who's finally delivering on promises, unafraid to take on the establishment, and he's willing to fight for what they believe is America's rightful place in the world. But for his opponents, this has been a period of near constant alarm. Protests have erupted in cities across the country. Legal challenges are being mounted at a furious pace, and the sense of division already, after the election, a bruising election, has intensified. On the world stage, though, Trump's America is a nation transformed, isn't it? Allies are scratching their heads, watching with a mix of apprehension and admiration. Adversaries are recalibrating their strategies as we speak, I'm sure of it, and the message is clear. The old certainties are gone. America is under a very radical new management, and the rules of engagement have changed. What's emerging is a new Trump doctrine, one that places America's interests above all else unapologetically. Trade deals are being renegotiated at an insane pace. Military commitments are under review. Immigration policies are being tightened. There are thousands of deportations happening every day. For Trump, this is about showing strength, about sovereignty and self-reliance. But this approach is not without its risks. By acting unilaterally, Trump risks isolating America from traditional partners, especially partners in Europe. The long-term consequences, economic, diplomatic, and security-related, are impossible to predict at this early stage. Trump needs legislative victories to cement his legacy. Tax reform, healthcare, infrastructure, these are the big-ticket items that require more than executive orders. But with Republican majorities so wafer-thin and Democrats eager to investigate and obstruct, the road is anything but smooth. If the midterms swing against the Republicans, let's say, Trump could find himself facing a very, very hostile Congress that will be determined to rein in his powers. You've only got to look at his State of the Nation speech to see how that might go down. And the stakes could not be higher. Democrats, meanwhile, they're regrouping. A little rocky, but they get in there. The shock of Trump's victory has given way to a renewed sense of purpose. They're mobilizing voters, challenging policies in courts, and preparing for a battle royale for the midterm elections. The next year could see some of the fiercest political combat in recent memory. Trump's first 100 days have been a whirlwind, an unprecedented attempt to reshape America in his own image. The machinery of government has been rattled to its core, hasn't it? The political establishment is on the back foot. The world is watching and waiting to see what comes next. But the truth is, the story of Trump's presidency is only just beginning, isn't it? The first 100 days have set the tone, but the real test still lies ahead. Can Trump convert his early momentum into lasting change, not just during his presidency, but for others that follow it? And will Congress and the courts back him or block him? And can America weather the storm of division and uncertainty that now defines its politics? As ever, here at GB News, we'll be watching every twist and turn. Trump's America is a nation in flux remade, perhaps not yet settled. The next chapter promises to be absolutely bombshell TV at the very least. Thank you for watching. This has been Alex Armstrong. Don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel for more.